Okay, so today we're diving into a really cool AI tool that claims it can take a simple text document and turn it into a full-on animated video. It's called MagicLight AI, and it's built to basically get rid of some of the biggest headaches for creators. So let's jump in and see what it's all about.
I mean, you've been there, right? You get this brilliant idea for a video, this amazing story you just have to tell, but then it just dies, never actually gets made. That gap between the idea in your head and a finished video can feel like a canyon. So what's really stopping us?
Well, it usually boils down to the same old suspects, doesn't it? First, the whole process just takes forever. Then there's the gear and software, which can cost a fortune. Plus, there's a super steep learning curve to get good at it. And when you add it all up, yeah, you're looking at some serious creative burnout.
And that brings us to our first section, the creator's dilemma. It's this constant battle, right? Between your amazing imagination and the very real practical limits of actually making something. But what if you could just, skip all those hurdles?
And that's exactly where a tool like MagicLight AI steps in. The whole idea is actually pretty simple. It's an AI platform that's designed to take your script, your text, and spin it into a professional-looking animated video. And the really crazy part? It promises to do it in just a few minutes.
So yeah, it's all about closing that gap we were just talking about. The whole goal is to automate all the hard technical parts of animation so that you, the creator, can focus on what really matters, the story.
All right, so let's get into the good stuff. Introducing MagicLight AI. How does this thing actually work? Let's break down the features that make it all tick.
Okay, one of the first things that really jumps out at you is the video length. A lot of AI video tools out there, they're stuck making these tiny little clips, but MagicLight AI, it can generate videos up to 30 minutes long. I mean, that's a game changer. It opens the door to telling a whole story or making a really deep tutorial. You could even make a full-on episode.
You know, a huge problem with AI video generators is character consistency. You create a character, and then in the next scene, they look different. It's so frustrating. Well, MagicLight tackles this head-on with something they call a cross-scene consistency engine. Not only does it keep your characters looking the same scene after scene, but it even lets you create and clone your own characters. Pretty cool. And you're not stuck with just one look either. The platform has more than 10 different visual styles to pick from, so you can really find the perfect vibe for your story. You basically get to be the director and choose the whole visual style for your creation.
So you can really find your aesthetic here. We're talking everything from anime and that beautiful Ghibli feel to a classic Disney style. Or maybe you want something grittier, like a comic book look. They've even got realistic, 3D cartoon, and a full-on cyberpunk style. Whatever you write, you can find a look to match.
And this leads to a pretty wild claim. They say that by automating all this stuff, MagicLight AI can slash your production time by up to 90%. 90. Just think about that. What would have taken you weeks of painstaking work before could now be done in an afternoon. That's huge.
Now, to back this up with some numbers, there was actually a research study that looked at using this platform for education, and the results were pretty impressive. It got really high feasibility scores, which basically means people thought it worked well and was easy to use. We're talking 92% from material experts, 91% from media experts, and even 87% from students. So yeah, people seem to think it's both powerful and easy to get the hang of.
Okay, so we've seen what it's capable of. Let's move on to the core features. How do you actually use this thing? Let's break down the whole creation process. And honestly, the workflow is super straightforward. It's basically 5 steps. 1, you put in your script. 2, you pick your style and a voice. They've got over 30 to choose from. 3, you can customize your characters. 4, you hit generate and check out the preview. And 5, if it all looks good, you just download your video. That's it. It really is that simple. And if you're curious and want to try it out for yourself, they give you 300 free credits right when you sign up. And get this, no credit card required, so it's totally risk-free. That's more than enough to play around, generate some images, and even create a short video to see how it all works.
So let's look at the plans real quick. The free plan lets you make a 1-minute video, and there's no watermark, which is awesome. But if you need to go bigger, the pro plan is where you get those 30-minute videos, a ton more credits every month, we're talking 30,000, and unlimited image generation. That's really for people who are going to be making content all the time.
All right, so we've covered what this thing is and how it works. Now let's go from text to video. Let's talk about the who and the why. Like, who is this actually for, and what does it all mean for the bigger picture?
I mean, when you think about it, the possibilities are pretty much endless. This is for content creators on YouTube trying to build their channel. It's for marketers who need to whip up an ad campaign yesterday. It's for teachers who want to create super engaging lessons for their students. Businesses, storytellers, indie filmmakers. Honestly, it's for anyone who has a story they need to tell.
I saw this quote from a user that I think just perfectly sums it up. They said, "It literally brings imagination to reality." And that's it, right? It's about taking that idea that's stuck in your head and making it a real thing you can actually share with people.
And that really gets to the bigger mission here. The goal is to democratize professional video creation for everyone. By tearing down those huge technical and financial walls, tools like this are taking high-quality video out of the hands of just big studios and putting it into the hands of individual creators, like you and me.
Which leads us to our final thought here, looking at the future of creation. What does all of this really mean for the future of creativity, for the future of storytelling itself?
Because when you think about it, the tools aren't the barrier anymore. The only thing holding you back now is your own imagination. So the question really isn't if you can make that story you've always been dreaming about. The real question is, now that anyone can be a filmmaker, what story will you tell?